The Lazy Dog and the Busy Bee. Rex stretched his golden fur across the velvet cushion, letting out a satisfied yawn as the morning sun warmed his belly through the bay window. This was the life. No schedules, no responsibilities, just endless comfort in his human's luxurious home. When his owner called from the kitchen, "Rex, walkies!" the dog simply rolled over and closed his eyes. Walking was for dogs who hadn't figured out the secret to happiness: do absolutely nothing. His daily routine was perfectly refined. Sleep until noon, lumber to his crystal water bowl, nibble gourmet kibble, then return to his favorite sunny spot for the afternoon nap. When evening came, he'd grace the family with his presence just long enough to receive belly rubs before retiring to his memory foam bed. "Why should I fetch sticks or guard the house?" Rex would think smugly. "I'm living like royalty." One lazy afternoon, Rex's peaceful world was interrupted by an annoying buzzing sound. A small bee had flown through the open window and was hovering near the potted herbs on the windowsill. Rex watched with mild irritation as the tiny creature darted from flower to flower with relentless energy. "You're making me tired just watching you," Rex drawled from his cushion. "Don't you ever rest." The bee, whose name was Buzzy, paused on a lavender bloom. "Rest? There's too much work to do. I've got pollen to collect, honey to make, and a hive to help build. Winter will be here before you know it." Rex snorted with amusement. "Winter? Summer? What's the difference when you live indoors? I've got central heating and a human who brings me food twice a day. You're running yourself ragged for nothing." Buzzy's wings buzzed with concern. "But what if your comfortable life changes? Those who don't prepare and can't contribute often find themselves in trouble when times get hard." "Impossible," Rex yawned, already losing interest in the conversation. "My human adores me. I'll never want for anything." With that, he rolled over and dismissed the little bee with a wave of his paw. Summer passed in blissful laziness for Rex. When his owner tried to teach him tricks, he'd feign sleep. When neighborhood dogs invited him to play, he'd pretend not to hear. Even when a burglar rattled the back door one night, Rex simply covered his head with his paws. After all, wasn't home security his human's job? Meanwhile, through the window, Rex could see Buzzy and her fellow bees working tirelessly in the garden, their tiny bodies heavy with pollen as they flew back and forth to their hive. "Fools," Rex muttered, settling deeper into his cushions. But one terrible morning, Rex's world crumbled. His owner sat beside him with tears in her eyes, stroking his fur gently. "Oh, Rex, I'm so sorry. I lost my job and I can't afford to keep you anymore. Mrs. Henderson at Willowbrook Farm says she'll take you, but you'll need to earn your keep like the other animals." Rex's heart pounded. Earn his keep? He'd never earned anything in his life. Before he could protest, he found himself in a carrier, watching his comfortable home disappear through the back window. Willowbrook Farm was nothing like Rex's pampered world. The barn was drafty, the food was plain, and worst of all, every animal had a job. The border collie herded sheep, the cats caught mice, and even the old rooster woke everyone at dawn to start the workday. "What can you do?" asked Farmer Henderson, looking down at Rex expectantly. Rex opened his mouth to boast about his lounging skills, then closed it again. He couldn't herd, couldn't hunt, couldn't guard, couldn't even fetch a simple stick. The other animals snickered and turned away, too busy with their own tasks to help a useless newcomer. For the first time in his life, Rex went hungry. His stomach growled as he watched the working animals enjoy their hearty meals. When night fell, he shivered alone in the corner of the barn, while the useful animals slept in warm stalls. Just when Rex thought things couldn't get worse, a familiar buzzing sound reached his ears. Buzzy landed on his nose, her tiny face full of compassion rather than judgment. "I told you that winter comes for everyone," she said gently. But it's not too late to change. I don't know how, Rex whimpered. I've never worked a day in my life. Then it's time to learn, Buzzy replied. Watch the other animals. Ask questions. Start small. Every journey begins with a single step, or in your case, a single honest day's work. Over the following weeks, Rex swallowed his pride and began to learn. He asked the border collie to teach him herding basics, practiced alerting the farmer to visitors, and even learned to fetch tools from the barn. His paws grew calloused, his muscles grew strong, and something wonderful happened. He began to sleep deeply, not from laziness, but from the satisfying exhaustion of a day well spent. When Buzzy visited him months later, she found Rex confidently leading a small flock of sheep to pasture, his tail wagging with genuine happiness. How do you feel? She asked. Rex paused, considering the question seriously. Tired, he admitted, but good, really good. I never knew how empty my comfortable life was until I found my purpose. As winter's first snow began to fall, Rex watched through the barn window as Buzzy and her hive enjoyed the honey they'd worked so hard to store. He smiled, understanding at last the wisdom in her words. Moral: laziness may seem pleasant, but purpose and effort bring lasting contentment and security.